Hi everyone, this is Rahul Sani. I have over 12 years of web development experience, and this is my first ever tutorial on VueJS. In this video, I'll try to cover the basics of Vue. So what are the prerequisites, what are the system requirements, and how we can set up a Vue application. So let's get started. So first is, what is Vue? Vue is a JavaScript framework, or we can call it as an open source progressive JavaScript framework used to build interactive web user interfaces and single page applications. It builds on top of standard HTML, CSS, and JavaScript and provides a declarative and component based programming model. Now, what is a single page application? A single page application is a web application or a website that provides users a very fluid, reactive, and fast experience similar to a desktop application. A single page application contains a menu, buttons, and blocks on a single page. When a user clicks on any of them, it dynamically rewrites the current page rather than loading entire new pages from a server. That's the reason behind its reactive, fast speed. In order to get started, we go to the official website of Vue, which is vuejs.org, and then we go to the docs, quick start. We scroll down a bit and we'll see how we can create a Vue application, and you will see some prerequisites. And so, what are those? First one is having a knowledge of command line. So, a developer must know how to use command interfaces and commands in order to create a Vue application. And then we should have this node version available in our system, which should be 16 or higher. And to check that, we go to our terminal, we type in node space -v to check the available version. So it does meet my criteria. Then I go back and I see this command. I'll copy this command over. So I'll go to Visual Studio Code, which is the recommended text editor, uh, because it offers a lot of extensions that you can use for your projects. So for example, for Vue applications, we can use a lot of Vue extensions here, so that it makes the developers coding experience really smooth and really effective. So now we go to the terminal, we will paste in that command, hit enter, and you will see it asks us for a project name. So I'll keep it as first app, and it also asks you to add TypeScript support there. So I'll hit no, I don't need this. So for everything you can do no for now. Now if you see, we have this folder created here. So this is the source folder, which we will deal a lot while making a project. So assets folder is there, which will contain your styling, all the style files, the files used as the logo or maybe any other file. And the components, you have another folder as icons, hello world, the welcome. So all these are the component. So if you notice how a component should be named, so it should be, the first one should be a capital, and the next word should be capital as well. So I'll tell you the reason for that. So the reason behind this is, when uh, we want to use it, and for example, let's go to the view app.view. Now if you see here, we can use the component name as such. It can be like this, or it can be like this as well. That's the reason we are using that name conventions, right? And then this is the main.js file, which will uh, basically create your Vue app. So this is the convention to use, like import create app from Vue, and then import app from app.vue, and then create app. The keyword that we use here, it could be anything, but for conventional use we use app dot mount into this css selector. Where you will find this is in the index.html. So here, right, and then in the app.vue you have all these components imported. So the code that you see here in these components, for example in the welcome component and all, that you will see reflected at your front end. So now what we will do is we will change our directory to first app. Now we will, if you notice, we don't have the node modules installed here. So for that we have to run npm install here. And once it's finished, you should notice node modules created here. The folder is created now, and then we have to run npm run dev in order to create our local environment, which is this. You can use command plus click in order to open this, and all you see here is that the components that we imported, right? So let's shrink it a bit. Now all the HTML code goes inside this template. So if I remove this, it should show us an error because it requires the Vue application requires us to have this template as a parent div. Then we have this style scoped. Scoped meaning that all the style that is defined inside of this style scope uh, is linked to this particular component. So app.vue is basically a global component, we can say, that is being used all over the website. So using scoped means that is, anyways, it's applicable to all the components as well. For instance, if we want to do a specific style in the welcome item here, so now whatever style you give, for example, there is a p tag here, right? There could be any I don't think there is any other p tag. So here, if I want give like font size, maybe I can do it like 40 pixel, just to give you an example of it. So I just go back here. Now you see as an independent project here, because it's wrapped inside a p, and that's how you are seeing this. So if the same p tag is being used anywhere else, for example, this is another component. So if you see the style is not applied on this particular paragraph because I have used scoped in my welcome view. But if I remove this scoped here, if you'll notice that it's applicable on the other p tag, which is not even the part of this particular component. So that's how scoped is used. So it's better to use scoped if we are working on individual components and we don't want the same style to be applied elsewhere.
I hope you enjoyed this video, and in the next video we will create a custom project together, and I'm sure that will be a real fun. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to my channel for more such useful videos. Thank you.